Welcome everyone. This is attorney Candice Carr with Spectrum Title Services, and I've got a quick video on title insurance and title commitment. So what are they? What do they do? What do they mean? First, we're going to talk about title insurance. Title insurance is insurance against a loss or damage resulting from defects or failure of title to a particular parcel of property. So when you purchase a property, you hopefully also purchase title insurance. And that insurance is basically an insurance policy that is going to protect you from certain claims or issues pertaining to that property. And a couple things that it protects against, this is not an all-encompassing list, but some of the main things are liens, claims by third parties. So if somebody claims that they have some type of ownership interest or a lien on your property, it would protect against those types of things. Defects in the chain of title or the history of title. Now, the chain of title is essentially from your closing day, from when your deed was recorded backwards. So that's what we call, that history is what we call the chain of title. Unsatisfied mortgages. If a title company fails to pay off one of the seller's mortgages at closing, and believe me, it has happened, your title insurance policy would protect against that mortgage if they then try and file a foreclosure lawsuit. And title insurance will also pay the cost of defending against a covered claim. So if somebody does file a lawsuit against you, whether it's a third party saying they have an ownership interest or it is an unsatisfied mortgage, if that proves to be a covered claim, then the title insurance company, the underwriter who issued the policy, will pay the cost to defend you in that type of lawsuit. Now, a couple of things that title insurance does not protect against. It's not going to protect against the association's bylaws, covenants, and restrictions. There's rules and regulations, etc. These documents are recorded, and these are going to be listed under what are called the exceptions to the title insurance. So the title insurance will not cover anything that's listed as an exception on the policy. And the association documents, whether it's homeowners or condominium, those things will be listed there. It also does not protect against easement agreements. Again, these are things that are recorded. A lot of times these are for power lines, for cable companies, for them to run their cable lines. For entry easements, sometimes neighbors, adjoining property owners have an easement to enter their property through yours, something to that effect. Those would be considered easement agreements, and a title insurance policy will not protect against those, assuming they are valid and properly recorded. It also will not protect against deed and plat restrictions. There may have been certain restrictions for the use of the property or what can be done with the property, what type of housing can be built there. Those things would be in a plat restriction when the whole property was first platted. Or there might be certain restrictions in a deed that was recorded in the chain and the history of the title. There could be various different types of restrictions. Most often it's for use or the type of structure that can be put there. And again, these would be recorded and these would be listed on the exceptions section of the title policy. Okay, so that's a little bit about title insurance. Now, a title commitment is a report that's issued by a title insurance company or its agent committing the title insurance company to issue the form of policy designated in the commitment upon compliance with and satisfaction of requirements set forth in the commitment. Now, when we are processing a file for closing, we actually have our underwriter prepare the title commitment. They send it to us, and that's basically our guide to what we need to do in order to be able to issue a title insurance policy to a buyer. So we'll get the commitment and it'll have a whole list of requirements that we need to go through and satisfy in order to be able to issue that title insurance policy. Okay, so some of the more common requirements, these are certainly not all of them, but these are the ones we see most often. Open mortgages, the seller has a mortgage, then we obtain payoffs in order to be able to satisfy that requirement. Unpaid tax liens, these can be property taxes, these can be federal IRS tax liens, they can be business tax liens. Unpaid judgments, code violations, whether they're city or county, they'll record liens, and we have to again obtain payoffs and find out what needs to be done in order to clear the violation. Corrective deeds, if there was a previous deed that was not executed properly, if it wasn't notarized, sometimes they contain an incorrect legal description, we have to obtain a corrective deed, meaning we have to go back and find that previous owner and have them sign what's called a corrective deed, and that has to be recorded. Probate issues, a lot of times there are certain documents that need to be recorded when a property has gone through probate, and those don't always get recorded, so we have to request documents sometimes from sellers, sometimes from the probate court in order to satisfy those types of requirements. Open notices of commencement. These can be for associations a lot of times, for condominiums when they're having work done on a building. There'll often be a notice of commencement filed against the entire building, or if it's a single family home, if a seller had put on a new roof or a pool or something to that effect, the contractor would file a notice of commencement, basically putting everybody on notice that they are doing work on this property and they could potentially have a lien on the property. So those we have to clear out in order to be able to issue a title insurance policy. Okay, so that's what title insurance is, and that's what a title commitment is, and kind of the purpose that each of them serve. I hope that gives you some good information. And I'm going to ask you, are we your closing agent? If not, then we'd like to know why. We'd like to know what we can do to earn your business. So please give us a call, visit our website. We've got loads and loads of educational videos and information for buyers, sellers, and realtors. So please visit and take advantage of all the free information that we're providing, and we look forward to working with you in the future. There'll be links to like us on Facebook, or again to visit our website in the video description. So take a look there, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening.